If you got used to using the Node.js string classes such as readable, transform, duplex, and writable string, I have some news. Node.js has been evolving so fast, and because of that, instead of using verbose functions, we'll be able to write simpler implementations to achieve big goals. Let's check it out in practice. Well, I'm gonna try first moving this and separe by modules, like module 01, module 02, and module 03 to make it easier to organize, right? So this goes to the first one, and then all the rest goes to the second. So we start working on the third. Nice. So here, let's create our first project. And it was gonna be async iterators API. Nice. So I'm gonna create index.mjs, and the goal here is to show you the same classes we've had using writable, readable, and transform string, but only using generator functions. Your mind is gonna blow right now. See, let's check it out. So first of all, I'm gonna import the pipeline, all right? Pipeline we're still gonna use from Node.js promises. I'm using here Node.js 19, so you should use 19 as well. Okay, nice. So usually to create a readable string, we import the readable string, but see, we can actually have a generator function, and I'm gonna call it my custom readable. Okay, that's it for now. I'm gonna do the same signature for transform, my custom transform. But in the transform, I'm gonna receive the string, and I'm gonna use for await to go through them. Okay, see, this time we don't have any callbacks, we don't have any functions there, we have just the same signature for all of them, so it's pretty much easier, right? So see, I'm gonna create the pipeline first, and then I'm gonna call my custom readable, and then I'm gonna call my custom transform. Okay, just to check it out if it's gonna work. Well, there's something new in the Node.js here. I'm gonna go to this folder, and we have the node watch. It's a new flag here, but I don't think I'm in the right folder. We have node watch, and then we can use it. So it's experimental, right? But we can start using right away. We don't need to install nodemon anymore for this kind of stuff. Okay, but we have some error there because we haven't created our readable string right now. Well, if it's the first time for you using generator functions, so the generator functions, we have a notation here with this asterisk, okay? And we have async, which means this is an async iterator, okay? So the pipeline now can handle async generators. So when we want to produce data, we can use yield, okay? So we can use as much as we want here, and for each yield we have here, we're gonna pass a data from there. So let's check this out. So here I'm gonna use buffer from, just to make something similar so of what we've been doing in the last classes. So this is I'm gonna make this harder, so I'm gonna import from node timers promises the set timeouts. Okay, I'm gonna use async here. I'm gonna make just a few milliseconds in buffer dot from custom readable. Okay, now you're gonna see that for each use I have here, we're gonna have a different iteration here. So I'm gonna check it out here. Chunk.toString. I'm gonna save it, and let's check it out. Failed running. my custom readable. Let's see why it's failing first. All right, it's not actually executing anything because we don't need functions here, right? We're gonna just delegate those functions. So see, for each UD we had, we're gonna have a different iteration here, okay? But remember, transform in this case, we should transform data, we should modify data, but it's exactly the same thing for the writable string. So I'm gonna put here writable, okay? And then I'm gonna put this writable right after them, okay? And then we can start thinking of the same idea. So if I change my code here to return the chunk dot toString dot replace. So for every space I have there, I'm gonna put an underscore. Okay, so now if I save it, I can use watch again, and this is my custom readable string. Actually, it's going on S, right? So for spaces is the backslash. So this is my custom readable. Ooh, pretty nice, isn't it? So it's for me, it's easier to understand what's going on here. So the goal for using UD is that we can return functions and keep those functions working. But as long as I'm using the UD, I'm actually sent to the next step. So here I send the first one, the transform actually received this data and then printed it out. And then I go to the next iteration, the next UD. So I have the second one here for the buffer, and then I'm gonna do the same action, and then I'm gonna print out on my writable string. Nice, isn't it? Okay, so to make this easier, I'm gonna actually put this as writable. I'm gonna let this as a chunk here, so I don't need a string anymore because here I already parsed to a string, okay? And then let's say, what if we want to do the same thing with a duplex, okay? The duplex can actually do the same thing of a writable, right? And do the same thing of a readable. This means that we can use both UD and we can actually output data at the same time. So let's see it. So this is writable, here it's duplex. Okay, but the duplex here, I'm gonna put before the writable because the writable is the last step, right? So here, it's our duplex writable, right? Because the writable string is the output, so I'm just printing out data. But if I want to keep the data here running, we can actually create here bytes read equals 0. And then I'm gonna save data here to the chunk dot length. And then if I want to print out the whole thing in memory, I can do the same thing. So here, const whole string, it's gonna be an array, whole string dot push chunk, and then I'm gonna say that I'm gonna print out the UD whole string dot join without spaces, and I'm gonna use UD again to say how many bytes I've read. Bytes read. Is it the same name? All right. So now my writable string is printing out the whole thing, which is gonna print out those two values only. Okay. So see, first of all, I'm using this is custom readable. I'm actually removing spaces. And then on my duplex, what I'm gonna do here is actually put them all in a single string and then print out how many bytes I've read. So I'm gonna save this one and check this out. The duplex received the custom readable, right? So here I received both times. However, I actually gathered them all in a single string. I printed out and then I said how many bytes I've had here, right? So if we compare to the other approaches we had using readable transform, it's more verbose, right? Right now we have the same signature for them all. we actually can use stream and set some functions here that I'm gonna show you in a few next classes. But we can set what is the encoding here, what is the read size, and so much other things. But yeah, I'm not sure about you, but I really prefer this kind of signature. It's easier to maintain, it's easier to understand. So here I'm not talking about streams, I'm just talking about generator functions, which is a JavaScript thing. Node.js streams are something related to Node.js, but generator functions are about JavaScript, which could be used for both web streams and Node.js streams that I'm gonna talk to you in the next modules. All right? Nice. So make sure it's working, and let's go to the next class. From now on, enjoy the power of the async iterators for Node.js streams. In the next class, you're gonna use them a lot. Just so you know, in the next class, we are gonna connect to a SQL database, read data on demand, parse it, and save it to an external source. You're gonna do all of it using on-demand processing. That's really amazing. Well, I hope this class has exceeded your expectations. I'm Eric Wendell, and I'll see you in the next class.